Imagine a ship found adrift perfectly intact, but with every single soul vanished into thin air. No distress, no struggle, just an eerie silence. That unsettling scene unfolded in early December 1872, when the Mary Celeste, an American-registered brigantine, was discovered by the British brigantine Dei Gratia, about 400 nautical miles east of the Azores. The abandoned vessel was seaworthy, the cargo intact, personal belongings undisturbed. Yet the lifeboat and navigational tools were mysteriously gone, and no human trace remained. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York bound for Genoa, carrying 701 barrels of denatured alcohol under the command of Captain Benjamin Briggs aboard with his wife, Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 crew members. The final log entry, dated November 25th, noted all was well as they neared the Azores. Yet on December 4th, Dei Gratia's crew, led by Captain Morehouse, discovered the ship unoccupied but drifting, her sails partially set and no sign of distress. A formal inquiry began in Gibraltar, examining what little evidence remained. The Mary Celeste appeared seaworthy. Cargo was largely untouched only. 9 barrels were empty. Personal items were in place, and there was no sign of struggle or foul play. Yet crucial items like the lifeboat, navigational instruments, and logbook were missing. Despite a salvage award to the rescuers, the court found no definitive cause. The mystery deepened. Investigators scoured the ship for answers. The galley was clean, food provisions were plentiful, and there were no obvious signs of damage beyond minor wear from the voyage. There was, however, evidence the ship's pumps had been operated, suggesting some water ingress. This alone could not explain the abandonment, as the vessel was far from sinking. Speculation began almost immediately, and theories ranged from the rational to the fantastic. The most widely accepted hypothesis holds that fumes from the denatured alcohol cargo might have created fear of explosion or fire, prompting the crew to abandon ship in the lifeboat, temporarily intending to return but never managing to do so. Sudden weather changes, strong currents, or miscalculations in distance could have prevented them from reboarding, leading to their disappearance. Another possible explanation involves structural or natural phenomena, such as waterspouts, rogue waves, or seaquakes, that may have convinced the crew the ship was imperiled. However, none of these fully align with the lack of significant damage in intact cargo. The piracy theory remains a tempting possibility for some. Pirates in the 19th century Atlantic occasionally targeted ships for their navigational instruments, charts, and other essentials, leaving heavier or less valuable cargo behind. The missing logbook and captain's chronometer fit this pattern. Yet there was no evidence of violence, and valuable personal items were left untouched. Mutiny or illness has also been suggested, though the absence of disruption in the ship's condition makes these unlikely. Insurance fraud was another idea floated at the time, but there was no insurance policy on the vessel or its cargo, making this theory implausible. For those inclined toward the supernatural, the Mary Celeste has been cast in tales of sea monsters, alien abductions, or curses, though none hold up under historical scrutiny. Modern researchers have approached the case with forensic science, computer modeling, and archival research. Experiments have recreated the conditions aboard a ship carrying alcohol to assess the plausibility of vapor buildup and the crew's possible reaction to it. Some simulations show that a small ignition could cause a flash fire without leaving lasting damage, potentially terrifying the crew into a hasty evacuation. Whether data from the period has been analyzed to determine if sudden squalls or dangerous sea states could have played a role, while drift pattern modeling has been used to speculate on the fate of the missing lifeboat, maritime historians have also examined records of piracy and accidents from the era, noting that certain theft patterns, such as taking only navigational tools, did occur. Psychological analysis adds another layer to the mystery. Even experienced captains like Benjamin Briggs could be compelled to make hasty decisions if convinced their ship or passengers were in imminent danger. Group panic can lead to irreversible mistakes, particularly at sea, where uncertainty and isolation amplify fear. A cautious evacuation meant as a temporary precaution could turn deadly if weather or distance made returning impossible. The Mary Celeste's story has transcended maritime history to become a fixture of popular culture. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's fictionalized 1884 account, J. Habakkuk Jeffson's statement transformed the ship into the Mary Celeste and wove a lurid tale of murder and mystery, cementing its ghostly reputation. Newspapers, novels, stage plays, and films, most notably the 1935 British production The Mystery of the Mary Celeste, starring Lugosi, have kept the enigma alive in the public imagination. This blending of fact and fiction has only deepened the ship's legend, ensuring that even plausible explanations struggle against the allure of the supernatural narrative. Today, the most reasonable explanation remains fear-induced abandonment, likely triggered by alcohol fumes or misinterpreted signs of danger. The crew may have believed they faced an imminent explosion or sinking, launched the lifeboat as a precaution, and then been unable to return. The possibility of human interference, such as piracy, cannot be ruled out entirely, given the missing navigational equipment. But evidence for it is circumstantial at best. Less credible are mutiny or supernatural causes, though these continue to capture the public's imagination. Nearly a century and a half later, the Mary Celeste stands as one of the greatest unsolved maritime mysteries, a reminder that the ocean still guards its secrets well. Whether the crew fled from an imagined peril or fell victim to an unforeseen danger, their fate remains lost to time, suspended in that eerie space between history and legend. The case endures because it taps into something universal, the haunting power of unanswered questions. The uneasy recognition that even in a world mapped and measured, some stories resist resolution. The ship itself is long gone, but the mystery sails on, carried forward by every retelling, each as restless as the waves that once bore her adrift.